As I've said in the past, they pride themselves on being undetectable. So what they'll do is they set up all these thwart confirmation hustles. So one thing they'll do, for example, they'll implant your heart, leave it there. If someone's going to check, they'll remove it. So when you check, there's nothing there. Or they'll set up a controller with one device, and then when you check the controller, the device doesn't go off. But then there's a separate controller for the same device, or there's a separate controller that they keep secret for different devices that can do the same thing in a different part of the heart. They have devices to influence the conduction in the heart and can cause arrhythmia, and they have devices that can even cause coronary ischemia and MI. So they have various weapons for covert murder. So one, look for the people who cover that up, who know about it and claim to be expert investigators, because if they're expert investigators, they know about this tech. And if they claim to experience what I experienced, they would know about it. Anyone claiming it doesn't exist, hasn't experienced what I experienced, and isn't an expert investigator. Key point. Two, anyone who's saying these their thwart confirmation hustles aren't real, aren't expert investigators, and didn't experience what I experienced. And then, they have different ways. They have dummy controllers and say, see, check, it's out. And then you check, nothing happens, but that's not the controller. They have a different controller that they keep secret. They also have these people they call on-site people and then off-site people. So maybe some of their controls for devices in people's hearts are off-site. So if there's some place people go to investigate, etc., they have some people armed with armed with controls to people's hearts where they can explode them off-site. So that's key. So they love they love thwarting confirmation, and they pride themselves on being undetectable. As a guy said, I wrote to law enforcement about this a long time ago. So always factor that into analysis and all the different ways they may manipulate you and perform thwart confirmation hustles. They always got to hustle. They're always lying. So they'll show you one controller, it's offline, but they have another control that controls a different device. You'll check there'll be a scheduled check. They'll find out, they'll remove it. They got all sorts of tactics, and then place it back later when you're not looking. So you always need to do random, unannounced checks as well, because that's a way to catch them. Because they probably want to know when you're scheduling a check. So if they know you're scheduling it, they'll remove it. You check, nothing's there. So if you do it randomly, you'll see stuff, and then you can catch some of the liars involved with conspiracy and murder. So that's what I would do too. So look for all the people who tell you the devices in my heart are removed. Then do random, unannounced checks. And then find everyone who lied. And you'll find key players involved with conspiracy and murder. Because why would they lie about it if they didn't conspire murder? Key point, man. That's a way to catch them.